Hey guys, Doogie Fun MD here, and I'm going to be taking you guys to the Four Kings. So, to clear this next area, you're going to need transient curses. You can pick up 2 from that one undead that's in a vase up ahead, and I'll show you where that is. But if you already picked them up and used them accidentally, or used them to try and farm for a ghost blade or something like that, then I'll show. Well, I already showed you where you could get more. Kind of. The woman that you can buy the resins from also sells up to 4 transient curses at any one time. So, that's a good place to pick up some transient curses if you don't have any, and you'll definitely need some for this upcoming area. It's a very high drop rate from the ghosts, but if you don't have any, you can't kill them. So, right here, if you accidentally slash that poor undead, but if you slash this pot open, this undead falls out, and he's holding 2 transient curses. So you can use that to get 2 transient curses. And you use Great Magic Weapon for clearing this area. I'm just going to go in and chop up some ghosts. The other thing is you can actually be cursed. So you can fight like Curse Frogs or Seath the Scaleless. And if you do, you can allow yourself to be cursed to kill them. But that's not really the best method of dealing with the fact that you need to be cursed. The best method is the transient curses. There are also several weapons that count as you being cursed when wielding them. One is the Ghost Blade and the Jagged Ghost Blade. Another is the Cursed Sword of Artorias. Those are the only 3 that come to mind at the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure there are probably more. As you can see, the ghosts go down pretty quickly. Some people farm them early game for a Ghost Blade drop because it's functions similarly to the Bandit Dagger, but it's a lot stronger early game. I can actually kill these ghosts one-handed with this sword when that's enchanted, so that's pretty cool. And you traverse the white light here. You'll go down here. And in here. And in here you'll get ambushed by a bunch of ghosts, so... And she dropped 2 more transient curses. Transient curses are actually a pretty high drop from these ghosts. It's just you have to have some to be able to even fight them. And you'll climb up this chimney. Oh, ghost down there. Hopefully he doesn't get me to fall. No, we're good. And just talk to this guy. So this is one of the sealers that sealed off and flooded New Londo when it had fallen to the Blight, I believe. And he gives you the key to the seal, which lets you bring down the floodwaters so that you could get to the Four Kings. And another ghost. So you'll go down here. Actually, not down here, but that's alright, because there's a green titanite shard here, so I'll pick that up. Probably will never use it, but it's good to have. And then you'll go down here. And you can't pull the chain because for the elevator because the floodwaters are holding it down. So what you have to do instead is use the key to the seal to open this door. And then open these big doors that open up into the Valley of the Drakes. And what happens is all the floodwater pours out, which allows you to pull this lever. And then you can go down here. So you'll find, there we go, some actual dark wraiths here. Unlike the player version of the dark wraiths, these are the ones that are wearing like the traditional clothing for the dark wraiths and use all the traditional equipment. They do quite a bit of damage, but they don't have a ton of health, so you can cleave through them pretty quickly. And just keep using your Estus flasks. Oh, they do drop Titanite slabs. They have a rare chance to drop them. If you're going to need to farm a Titanite slab, this is where you would do it. I think there's one of those big old blob things in here. Yep, and it killed me. Or no. Just 2 dark wraiths. So here I'm back up here after dying once to the dark wraiths. Like I said, they do pack quite a wallop, and there's an area where you'll have to fight 2 of them. And as you saw, I had forgotten that for my last playthrough of the game, so I was expecting one, and the second got the jump on me, so don't do what I did. Know what you're fighting. One of the aspects of the game that I do enjoy is that the game is very challenging, even if you've played the game quite a few times. It's not that much less challenging than, I don't know, maybe the second or third time. It's definitely a lot less challenging than my very first time, because I just kind of know what's going on now, but it's definitely, there's still an element of challenge to the game. So just kind of lured them back a little bit. I'm going to use Great Magic Weapon on my sword. What happened is that ooze hit me with an attack, and then both of the dark wraiths hit me with an attack as well. I'm not sure as to whether or not these guys respawn when killed. I want to say yes, but if you want to find out, you'll have to come back and die. And I wouldn't recommend either of those things, so hopefully you don't find out. Oh god. We're gonna run back out here. Put an enchant back on our weapon. Their shields are very good, so keep an eye out for that. And that head's about to explode, so get back a little bit. If you see a head, like that little laugh thing, where it vibrates and kind of laughs at you, it means it's about to explode, and you should take appropriate actions, get your shield up, do a backwards roll, whatever it takes to get out of the way, so that you don't have to face the brunt of the exploding head. And another Titanite chunk, so we're well on our way to being able to fully upgrade our either our Uchigatana or our Baldur side sword, depending on which weapon you've decided to go with. If you're carrying around a lot of spare humanity, watch out for that palm attack. It drains humanity and does a bunch of damage, but it only works if you have humanity on you. Oh my. It was 3 parries in a row right there for those counting at home. Because I'm good at this game. I mean, if you're watching this, I might be better than you are, but I'm certainly not skilled or talented in any real way. There are people that are way better at this game than I am. And somebody that's new at the game could be better than me. I wouldn't be that surprised. So, this is where you go to do the boss fight. So you'll need to equip your Covenant of Artorias ring. I have 2 charges of the Crystal Magic Weapon left. And a few swigs of my Estus Flask left as well. So we're going to go down here and try to do this. Basically just kind of walk down for a while. And eventually you'll kind of reach like a crumbled edge. And you'll think, this can't possibly be where I'm supposed to be. Yep, you drop. And if you have the Covenant of Artorias ring equipped, you don't die, you don't take any damage, you go to the abyss. So, in a second, a boss will pop up. Yep, the 4 kings. So we're running off to fight the 4 kings. This is the first one. They don't do a ton of damage, because you're expected to kind of go in there naked with no armor, because you need to de-equip your, you know, your rings like Favor and Protection and Hovels. But I just generally just leave it on and just go with heavy encumbrance for this fight, because there's not a lot you can dodge. This is another fight where I think the Berserker method of just going in and chugging Estus Flasks through most of the damage and just trying to get off as much damage as you can works best. So, put another charge of Crystal Magic Weapon on. We still have one of Great Magic Weapon if this lasts too long. Shit might, because for some reason the next king isn't spawning yet. Oh, spoke too soon. Oh, and he does his grapple. This will do a bit of damage. Just generally unfriendly move. Did about like 1/3 to 1/4 of my health, somewhere in that range. So try not to dip below like 1/3 to 1/4 of your health, guys, because if you do, you might get hit with one of these and you could die. As you can see, it's just generally unpleasant. Like now I'd need to flask up, because if I get hit with another one of those things, I would have been dead. Put on Great Magic Weapon. Not quite as good, but still a good enchant. We'll flask up. I don't like that there's no real, like, boom when he does that. You just kind of collapse. Oh, there you go. That's the 4 kings fight. Next up, we'll do Nito, the Gravelord, and then, if you've finished Seath, you're done. If you have to go back and get Seath because you've decided that he's kind of too hard for you with your magic build, you should be in a better spot to go back and kill him. So, next up is Gravelord Nino.